hiking in really hot temperatures and being able to carry sufficient water with you when you can't rely on sources on the ground, rivers, dams, streams, etc., and having to rely on designated water tanks at campgrounds when it may or may not be available. It's the 29th of December today, and since Christmas Day it's been around 100 degrees or thereabouts on most days, and it's looking likely that it will carry on into January. Last night I was online and I was looking at the Cape to Cape Facebook group page, which I'm a member of, and someone made a comment on there: is there any water left in such and such a tank on the track? And an older or possibly wiser hiker made the comment, "Here we go again." And I perceived that to mean that the silly season had arrived again. Would you base your water needs on my opinion or anybody else's opinion when it's such an important factor? The tank conditions could have changed in a matter of hours. Hikers could have come through and maybe not used the water as sparingly as they should. Plus there could be other evaporation. So you wouldn't want to base your water needs on those assumptions. Hiking in hot weather is not so much of a problem on day hikes when you can carry enough water with you, but on multi-day hikes it takes a lot more planning. When I was younger and had a lot less experience hiking than I do now, I was on a trail doing a multi-day hike. I was planning to go between water tanks on this hike. I was carrying about 4 litres of water between these tanks. Now I took off from my last water point. I'd only gone about 2 kilometres, I suppose, and I met these hikers coming towards me. The first stroke of luck, they said to me, "Where you're going, the next 2 water tanks are almost dry, so you're going to have to skip to the 3rd one, which is bigger, and that's going to be okay for you." So I backtracked with them to the campsite I'd just come from, which luckily again was only a couple of kilometres behind me. Now luckily again I had 2 platypus collapsible bottles and a collapsible hydropack bottle, so that gave me another 6 litres of water to go with the 4 I was carrying. So I had 10 litres of water all up. Well, as you can imagine, those extra 6 litres of water was an extra 6 kilos I had to carry. So I thought, I had a word with these hikers, we worked it out. It was about 54 kilometres to the tank that had water in it. So, and I had 10 litres of water. I thought that's cutting it pretty fine. The only way I'm possibly going to do this is to keep out the sun. So I stayed in the camp till early evening, then I hiked out of the camp. I hiked probably a couple of hours into the night, then I stopped and camped where I was. The following morning I got up at dawn and hiked again till it got too hot, then I stopped. And that's what I done until I reached the camp that had the water. That was fine then. I could put my stuff back in my pack and carry on as normal. I only had a couple more campsites to go to the end of the hike. So yeah, I was lucky in so many ways. Lucky I met the hikers in the first place, and lucky I met them where I did, because I only had to backtrack a couple of kilometers. So yeah, I had plenty of luck with me on that particular occasion. You can cache water in on the trail, but sometimes that can be a logistical nightmare. If you're lucky enough to get in, you can set a waypoint on your electronic device where you've left the water, but would you want to rely on that situation in very remote areas, in very extreme heat temperatures? I don't think I would. Also, trail angels may be able to meet you at certain points where the trail may go near a road, but don't forget, the trail angels are volunteers, and meeting someone in the right place at the right time is another logistical nightmare. And I've heard of stories of hikers even abusing trail angels because they don't turn up on time or whatever. As I say, don't forget, they're volunteers and they're not out to look after you like a mother. So that's something else I'm not inclined to rely on. Even though they're great people, in extreme temperatures you can't rely on that situation. The point is, you only go out hiking to enjoy yourself. And how can you enjoy yourself if you're constantly worrying about water sources or carrying a lot of water with you, which weighs a hell of a lot? It's a catch-22 really. You're carrying more weight, you sweat more, and you drink more. Unless you hike at night, and then I suppose you're not seeing half the things that you wanted to see. Hike and Seeker signing out. If you give the video a thumbs up, that'd be great, and even consider subscribing to the channel. That'll be fantastic. Okay, thanks for watching the video. Take care. Goodbye.